After a time, a few minutes, you just see all the oil on top and the custard in the bottom. So you want to put in your time right there now. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you hey okay? In your neck of the woods? What up? What up? Manners and respect, man. I your girl, Debbie from Rundung Yard. Welcome you all to the Jamaican kitchen. Welcome once more. It is the Jamaican Cooking Journey. And if you're new right on over here, special welcome. Those of you who were there with me from the beginning of the journey and you're still here, manners and respect. Now, don't forget that we have our little merch going on, and I want to show you something. I always up to take, like when I'm buying anything, and I want to do this at this point in the video because some people never normally watch until, you know. I just want to say, I show you something. When I'm buying stuff online, I always up to take like extra large and so, because you know I have huge boobs and so. But this time, this is an extra large, but I think large would have fit me. So for those of you who would like to try, you know, my merch and stuff, t-shirt wise and so, and you're wondering what to take, you will understand. If you have big boobs like me, a large can fit you. This is extra large. I did that, but I realized that large was fine. Because you know, sometimes different companies vary with different size. So I'm just trying to show you. And if you know, you can have an idea of what size you are to take. And so, and I like that, okay? Now on today's episode, and I'm going to leave the link to my merch store in the description of this video, okay? So remember to go support us, and thanks to all of you who have already and are still doing it. Thank you so very much. On today's episode of the Jamaican Cooking Journey, we will be doing the Jamaican Saltfish Rundung. You saw me in a few videos prior to this one. We did the Jamaican fried fish Rundung. I don't know how many people knew about that one, but today we are going to be doing the Jamaican saltfish Rundung. So I have here this hunk of a saltfish, and I like that. A little dryish, a lot drier than the other one that I used. Still could be a little more dry. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rinse off the heavy pickle in salt, as I told you before in the fried fish video, in the brown stew saltfish video. Okay? Rinse off the pickle in salt. Make sure that heavy salt, when I'm using to pickle it, you give it a few rinses, you know? And I like that. You know? Right. So now I'm going to leave it in a lot of water for it to come to a boil. Now, when you look at this fish, you see there's a thickness here. So, you know, it's a source of salt embedded inside of that thick part here. So, I'm going to make sure I'm on the safe side by scalding this off 3 different times. And I'm going to put enough water to cover it. So, my flame is up. My coconut milk is here. And if you don't know what type of coconut you are to use to make your rundung, I'm going to leave the link to the video that we did on my other channel in St. Mary, showing you the different stages of the coconut and what it is used for. Bone dry coconut for your rundung. If you can't get dry coconut, I guess you'd have to use something in the can, and I like that. So we're gonna leave our milk now to come to a boil. We're gonna get our saltfish scalded off about 3 different times. Due to that thickness, we want to be on the safe side. I don't know the whole salty, I'm gonna really deal with it, and I like that. So when you see me next, this should be at a point where it's almost coming down to the Rundung Island custard or liggy, and this should be scalded off 3 different times. Then we're going to come together, use a little Jamaican herbs and a little seasoning and something. We're going to put for you this Jamaican saltfish Rundung, and then we're going to present it to you with something that you might like. So family, we are back, and the first things first, my saltfish has been boiled. And I have it here in some cold water, ice water, and I'm leaving it to cool out. I've prepped all my little seasonings. I have here a peg of garlic. I'm going to be using some thyme, some onions, scotch bonnet pepper, which is a must, some tomatoes, scallions, and I have a little red and a little green bell peppers. Also, I have here a little cracked pimento seeds, You could use that, or you could use a little black pepper. Okay, so I am gonna go now, and let me show you over here. I have my coconut milk coming down. This is how it looks. So it's gonna come right down, as you have seen in my prior rundown videos. It's gonna come right down until the oil starts separating itself, and that is when we'll come to put in all what we have. Okay, so this is where we are at, and all of that. You can't go too high, as this thing will boil and come right over, and you know, but everything will just come up. And so also, even though you're on medium, you have got to be monitoring this thing. But at this point now, it might not come up, but when it was, you know, just started, you will have to be monitoring it. So it is saltfish rundung. That's what we are doing today. And also we are going to present it to you with something that I recommend that you can eat it with. Now I want to show you something. This is a thick piece of fish. So what I want to do, I want to break it in two. I want to show you how you to go about cleaning up your saltfish after it's been scalded off or cooked where you want. You want to pick out, there is this sort of like a little thin layer to the back ear that covers the bones. Look at it. You must remove this. Yeah, this part here. You can't remove it unless you boil it. So you must always remember to remove this part here. This part, right? You're seeing it. So you want to remove all of that. And then now you move on to picking out your bones. Most, if not all. Sometimes it's sort of hard to get all out. But you must make sure you take a little time and make sure so you pick out your bones. These are some tall, serious bones. So you want to remove them. These are easily removed because they are at the surface right there. So you want to turn now. And you want to start scooping off. I find that a spoon does it better than fork or a knife. So you want to look. This is the scales of the saltfish. And it has this little groove. So you go right along there with your spoon. That's what I use. And you clean. This white part here is fine. But when you reach right here, you take off all of this. But this white part, remember, you clean it off, you know, the scales here. But this part here that is dark gray or black, you must remove it until you see the fish of itself. Okay? So, because this part here, you see this? This part here is like it's down on it. But from you move the scales, this white part here, it's fine. Right? If you want to go ahead and move it, because, you know, people have different strokes with different forks. I never normally remove off that white part. From I move the scales and all of that, my good. So as you into your water, so as you scrape, you dip, and the water will just help you. If you want to do it on the running water, fine. So you want to clean it and make sure you have all of these things out and search out your bones. Then you want to go now and you want to start picking up. If you want to remove here, you can remove it. As I tell you, me not normally remove for me. You know? Right. So you want to go right in here. And there are other bones in there too. Try to look out for them. I was talking about pegging the saltfish. Look at this. And somebody said to me, which makes so much sense. And I always like those comments. This is the peg. The person said to me, Debbie, when you get the saltfish, them when up properly to perfection, them can't peg. When the saltfish, them young, them cannot peg. You understand? And that made so much sense to me. So I don't know why people are offended. Well, I can't tell them not to be when I say people make stupid comments. That was something that made sense to me. I didn't know that. Him said, Debbie, if the saltfish not come to perfection and a young saltfish, it now go peg. So this is what we would call peg in the days back then. I showed you. You just use your hand and you just slide it. And the younger people would never know that. But people of my age who wish to speak the truth, and if them know, maybe some people my age don't know neither, this is how they would call it in the days. You would use your hands and you just slide it off peg by peg. That's what the older people call saltfish. So you have it looking something like this. These are the pegs, okay? And those who know about it can comment. Come and know a lot of people that are watching this channel knows what I'm talking about. We're gonna go finish our saltfish, and when we return, we're Rundung supposed to down to par, and we're gonna put them together. I'm gonna show you what you can have with it. This is Sunday morning in my kitchen, and it's breakfast time. I'll show you what you can have with it for breakfast. Jamaican thing. Okay, now fam, you see that we're almost there now. You see all that the water is being the water is drying out, or is being evaporated. And at this point you have right here, let me show you, you have the custard coming up right there. And if you turn your flame down a little, you will see that the oil is been separating itself also from the water and from the custard. This is the custard at the side here. This is it. And let me turn it down for you a little more. Let you see what is happening. I want to bring you in on this whole rundown thing, that you understand when you're cooking your rundown, when you're supposed to start putting in your little condiments and your little protein. Look at it here. Yeah, perfect time now. You can see that at the top here you have all oil and the custard. So what is going to happen? You see, back then in the days, the people, they would call this fat, right? So people would say this is not healthy. People are saying this is not healthy, too much fat. But me don't know, because this is natural. No man can do nothing to this, you know. This is natural, you know. So you see the oil there at the top, and as soon as I put up back the flame, you will see all those bubbles coming out. It's the water being evaporated out. So when you see me next, all of the water is supposed to come out. We're putting in something. I brought you back to show you when you're preparing your rundown. Don't put in your stuff when it have water, make it turn long water. You want to have rundown, which is oil custard, and you add a little something then. Okay, now fam, you see you're on the simmering, right? You see your oil at the top, and it's still on the low flame there. So if you should turn it off, after a time, a few minutes, you just see all the oil on top and the custard in the bottom. So you want to put in your thyme right there now, and also you want to put in some finely chopped garlic right in there. If you want to grate it, you can. You want to get the garlic, you know, that garlic flavor. If it's that you like garlic, if you don't like garlic, you don't have to put no garlic in it. Okay? Also, I have here a few cracked pimento berries. I'm gonna want to put too much because I know pimento is strong and all of that. So at this point, we can up our flame a bit. You want to put your saltfish right in. Why? Because you want your saltfish to go down there. You're going to start mop up all of that coconut flavor in there. So you want to put your saltfish in there, make it start get a little cook down in that flavor. So you're going to put your saltfish in there now, and you're going to carry back your flame up a bit. When I am at the point that all of these, and we can put in our scotch bonnet to forget out the heat if you love it. When I'm at the point where all of these are supposed to go in, I'll return. Okay, now fam, we are right back. And I want you to look at something. I want you to realize that the saltfish, you do it a little different from this one is done a little different from the fried fish one. You have got to know when to put in the saltfish. You have got to know how to monitor it, or you will have all of it drying out, and you're not going to have no rundown in the saltfish. You have got to know when to put in the saltfish. The fried fish one, you can carry it down way down because the fish is already fried. The saltfish is just spoiled, but we want flavor in the saltfish. Okay, are you there? You want flavor in it, so you have to put in the saltfish at an interval that it has enough time to stay in there and to absorb this coconut flavor. You see what I'm saying? So yes, the saltfish is in there and it has absorbed all of that coconut flavor and all of that. The time is there. Everything has come out. So now it is time to get your flame up, and you're going to put in all of them something here. You see what I say? Yeah. So if you have not watched the fried fish one, I'm going to leave the link, and then you're going to go watch it and see the difference with this and the fried fish video. So now that you have all of this, and remind you, you are not to cover. If you cover, you're going to have excess water building up in there, because once you cover, extra steam. You understand? So you know the water will evaporate out already. I got to take time come back in there. You are not to cover it. So look at me here now. Now that you put in all of these. You want to just make sure say you have everybody all up and all of that. So look at me here. You see everybody in there? Yeah. So you're gonna leave this. Now that everybody is in there, you're gonna leave it down a little bit, make everybody get all cooked. Okay? So you can probably put your things sideways, half mass and all of that. You can cover it now at half mass, not fully covered. So when we return, I'll show you the finished dish, and then I'll plate up and show you what I recommend that you have it with for a breakfast. Me soon come. So okay now fam, this is where we are at, and this is the perfect time. This is what it looks like. Okay, so remember this is a sauce. So what you want, you know, want to have it all dried out, that when you take up, you don't have none of the rundown sauce. So it is time now for us to turn our flame off. And this is how your saltfish rundown supposed to look, or unless you want to add other stuff with it and put it how you want it. If you let it come down too much, you're gonna have all saltfish and all your little seasonings all dried out. It must be in the sauce. So I'm gonna show you now what I recommend you have it with for breakfast. There you have it, family. Our perfect Jamaican rundown saltfish, or saltfish rundown. For breakfast, I recommend a few fingers of soft boiled bananas. Yeah, people love it with dumpling and yam, but I recommend that for dinner. You know, you want to have something light, and that, you know, the dumpling and the yam, you know, with the starch, you know, we hold your back and all of that. Although we Jamaican, we eat it for breakfast still, you know, but I like to have that for, like, for, you know, in the afternoon and all of that. But for breakfast, this is the perfect thing. If you want to have a fried dumpling or two with it and some hot Jamaican chocolate tea, what more could you ask for? The Jamaican saltfish rundown. Please do enjoy. From my kitchen to yours, from my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all to your stomach, it is Jamaican saltfish rundown. I'm going to show you how to prepare it as opposed to the fried fish. Okay? Now, if you have liked this video, all I ask of you is that you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the Jamaican Cooking Journey. Also, the Jamaican Debbie Strain. This is where you will get all the other info, and to all where you don't know. When you come here and you want to get it, you will get the info on the Jamaican Debbie Strain. The Jamaican chocolate tea, you're going to get it. Okay? I have that video to show you in depth. Remember to make sure that you go support my little merch. Thanks to those of you who have already supported or are still supporting. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the love, for all the support right across all our channels. And remember to be you, do you. Most of all, love you. All that you're looking for to get on to us will be in the description of this and all my other videos.